The Quest for Courage. Written by Angela Beauty, illustrated by Robert Crane. The Quest for Courage. Sam desperately wanted to fit in, but fitting in is difficult when you are terribly shy, twice as tall as the other kids, and extremely clumsy. Just when Sam thought the taunts would become too much to bear, he finds hope through the wisdom of Jess. Jess shows Sam just what courage looks like and how it can be found in the most unlikely place. This encouragement gives Sam the strength to stand up to be the best that he can be. The Quest for Courage. Written by Angela Beauty, illustrated by Robert Crane. Every playtime at school, Sam would climb into his secret spot deep within the bushes. He would carefully unpack his helicopter, warship, army tank and green plastic soldiers. "Look out below! Coming into land!" Sam yelled as he lowered the helicopter onto the ship's deck. "That was a rough mission, but we pulled through. Well done," Sam called to his troops. "This way to the trenches. Follow me and keep your heads down." Playing war games made Sam feel strong. His soldiers could do anything. They were mighty, fearless and brave. They were everything Sam wanted to be. Bzzz! Sam was snapped out of his play by the bell. It was time to head back to class. Sam just wanted to be like all the other kids in his class. He desperately wanted to fit in. But fitting in was difficult when you are terribly shy, twice as tall as the other kids, and extremely clumsy. Sam didn't think he was funny or brainy, so he couldn't rely on either of those to fit in. He was good at art and chess, but no one cared much about that. Sport was what mattered to most boys in his school. But Sam was as slow as a snail and had 2 left feet. He was too clumsy to be of any use to his teammates. It meant that he was teased a lot. The other kids would snigger and sneer at him when he tried to join in. It would make him so mad, but he never had the right words to say. He would hang his head down and give up. It was horrible. Why couldn't he be like all the other kids? Sam was dreading the next lesson. Soccer was the pits. "Don't kick it to Sam," yelled Harry. "He can't kick it for nuts," Jack joined in. "Yeah, I've seen a butterfly kick harder than Sam," he laughed. The ball whizzed past Sam's head, barely missing him. He tried to duck, but stumbled and landed face first in the mud. "Ha ha, loser," yelled Harry. Sam sat up in despair. He just wanted to hide in his secret spot in the bushes. He felt safe there, strong. Harry and Jack jogged over to Sam. "What are you doing on the ground, you big lump of lard?" Harry sneered. "Why aren't you playing?" Sam sat there with his mouth gaping open like a goldfish, but nothing came out. Harry shook his head, then sunk his boot hard into the ball. Sam felt the ball sting his left arm. He blinked hard. A single tear rolled down his muddy cheek and plopped onto his knee. "Look, everyone! Sam is crying!" Jack shouted. "That'll teach you to give up, you big sissy!" The boys laughed and took off. Sam thrust his hand deep into his pocket and found his little soldier. He held it tightly. Day after day, Sam put up with Harry and Jack's taunts. Sometimes other kids would join in too, like the day Sam came to school with a new haircut. "Hey Sam, do you have your ears lowered?" asked Corey. "Yeah, I've seen more hair on a boiled egg," Fran chimed in. The rest of the class roared with laughter while Sam's face turned as red as a beetroot. He couldn't wait for the bell to ring so he could head to his hiding spot and play with his tanks and soldiers. He was already dreaming up his next mission. The helicopter pilot was about to fly over enemy territory and make a dangerous landing to deliver a food package. He was going to be the hero of this mission. The next day was the worst day of the school year for Sam. It was sports day. Sam felt sick in the stomach. Unfortunately for Sam, Harry and Jack were the captains and got to choose the teams. He knew he would be chosen last. Taking it in turns, they called out the names of each kid, proudly lined up behind their captain. Before long there were just two of them left. Sam recognised her as Jess, the new girl at school. "Who's your last pick, Jack?" Harry asked. "They both look pretty hopeless to me," Jack said. "Sam couldn't even run a water bottle onto the field without falling over, so I guess I might pick Jess," he said. Harry winced. "Oh no, that means Sam is on my team," he said. "Let's toss a coin to see who gets stuck with him." Sam felt a pain in the pit of his stomach. He thought he was going to be sick. He looked down at the ground so he couldn't see their laughing faces. Jess spoke up. "What makes you two so special anyway? Just because you're good at sport doesn't mean you can treat us like dirt," she said. Sam spun his head sideways and looked at Jess. Wow, no one had ever stood up to these two before. Harry and Jack stood there like stunned mullets with their mouths flapping in the breeze. The next day Sam was back in his favourite spot playing. He noticed two eyes peering through the bushes. "Can I come in?" asked Jess. No one had ever come to play in Sam's secret spot. He was surprised but happy. "Sure," Sam said. Jess crawled inside. "What are you doing?" she asked as she picked up a soldier. "This is a peacekeeping mission. The army is protecting the civilians. The tanks patrol the streets and the helicopters just dropped off medical supplies," said Sam. "Looks like fun. Can I play?" asked Jess. "Well, it's pretty scary. You have to be brave to be a soldier. It's not for wimps," said Sam. Just then Sam remembered when Jess stood up to Harry and Jake the day before. "I guess you were pretty brave yesterday. Thanks for sticking up for me," he said shyly. "Well, you can't let anyone tell you that you're no good," said Jess. "Yeah, but how did you do that?" asked Sam. "There's no way I could do that." Jess looked long and hard at the little soldier in her hand. "It's a thing called courage," she said. "What do you mean? What's courage?" asked Sam eagerly. And then Jess was gone. She had wriggled out of the bushes and was running back to class. Sam was curious. He wondered what courage looked like and how to find it. He needed to know. If he had courage, he could show those meanies a thing or two. Could he buy courage in a box from the supermarket? Maybe it was hidden in a treasure chest deep in a cave. Or perhaps it was at the end of a beautiful rainbow that sometimes lit up the sky. Wherever it was, Sam wanted it. Then he wouldn't have to put up with those kids like Jack and Harry, who made him feel worthless. Over the next few weeks, Sam couldn't stop thinking about courage. He desperately wanted to know what it was and how to get it. Jack and Harry didn't let up with their teasing. In fact, the more Sam said nothing, the worse it got. On the pavement one day they wrote in big letters, "Sissy Sam." It was right where everyone could see. Another day they wrote on a soccer ball, "Sam's head, kick me," and booted it around the school oval laughing and screaming. They thought they were so funny. Sam's heart sunk a little more each time they did something cruel. Thank goodness for his safe hideaway, and thank goodness for Jess. Day after day, Sam and Jess played in their special spot. Sam showed Jess how to go into battle. Facing the enemy and helping your mates survive was scary stuff, but his soldiers were tough. He asked Jess again about courage. Please tell me what courage is and where can I find it?" Jess smiled. "Tomorrow is a special day. Meet me here and I will show you." As promised, Jess turned up the next day. Sam was bursting with excitement. Jess asked Sam if he knew what day it was. "Of course I do. It's a day I find out about courage," he said. "Yeah, that's true, but it's also Remembrance Day," said Jess. Sam had no idea what that had to do with anything. "If you want to know what courage is, it looks like this," Jess said. She pulled out a small red poppy and pressed it carefully into Sam's hand. "The poppy is the symbol for Remembrance Day. It reminds us of the courage of the men and women who have served in wars and all those who keep us safe today," she said. Courage helped them to do really brave things. It helped them to keep going when they were scared. It helped them to look after their mates even when it was dangerous, and it helped them to stand up for what they believed in, she said. Jess handed Sam a toy soldier. And the soldiers that you play with every day are just like them. They show amazing courage. Sam looked at the soldier in his hand and the poppy in his other. Yeah, my soldier does have courage, he said. And guess where courage can be found? Jess asked excitedly. Jess grabbed Sam by the arm and stepped out from under their shelter into the daylight. Sam looked out across the school oval, squinting into the sun. It's not out there, Jess said, laughing. It's in here. She put her hand on her heart. The same courage that our brave servicemen and women have is the same courage inside you and me. I like to think that our hearts look a bit like a big red poppy. Sam smiled. He put his hand on his heart. He could feel the poppy coming to life inside his chest. As they did every Remembrance Day at 11 a.m, the class stopped for a minute's silence to remember the courageous servicemen and women. Sam stood tall. He could feel the poppy shining brightly deep in his heart. He felt courage beating inside his chest. At that moment he realised that it was there all along. He just hadn't known it. And he realised it's the same courage that we all have inside us. Courage to speak up. Courage to be ourselves. Courage to be a good friend. Courage to lend a hand. Courage to be kind. Courage to never give up. Courage to be the best we can be. Sam turned and smiled at Jess. She gave him a wink. After a while, Sam stopped bringing his army toys to school. He packed them away in a safe spot at home. He didn't really need them anymore. Sam was so grateful that Jess had encouraged him to stand up and be himself. She was a good friend. He was feeling much stronger. Sam and Jess joined in with the other kids at playtime. He was still no good at sport, but that was okay. He didn't need to be. He was good at other stuff, like being courageous.